The oceans. The cauldron of life. Life emerged from here. Driven by the sun's energy. The oceans support diverse and complex ecosystems, ranging from the most fragile coral reefs to the oldest and most resilient wetland forest on the planet. The mangroves. Protectors of our coastlines. A product of millions of years of evolution. Adapted to the saline intertidal zones. Mangroves are the most productive and biodiverse wetland forests on Earth. Found mainly in the tropical and subtropical regions of the world, these coastal ecosystems cover an estimated area of 15.2 million hectares. These tropical coastlines support the world's richest biological diversity and primary productivity, supporting the livelihoods of millions of people across the world. Growing where the ocean meets land. Mangroves create a natural barrier against coastal erosion, storms and wave surges. Mangrove forests remain partially submerged for hours. Once or twice a day, the tide moves out. Exposing the intertidal surface, including the mangrove's unique aerial roots. These spike-like structures, called pneumatophores, are designed to absorb air quickly, while the roots are uncovered by the tide. These roots can keep out over 90% of the salts from the water they absorb. The salt that does enter the plant is excreted. Some mangrove species have special cells in the leaves, resulting in salt crystals appearing on the leaf surface, which eventually drop back into the sea. Mangrove leaves are also specially adapted. They avoid the harsh midday sun by changing their orientation. This shields them and limits water loss through evaporation. According to experts, every year, mangrove forests contribute more than 18 million metric tons to the long-term storage of carbon globally. Mangroves and coral reefs share a symbiotic relationship. The tangled network of mangrove roots trap muddy sediments, preventing them from reaching the coral reefs and smothering them. The corals, in turn, act as a barrier and protect the mangroves from the strong wave surges. Coral reefs and mangroves are each home to hundreds of species of fish. The mangroves also provide a refuge and habitat for some commercially important reef fish during the earlier stages of their life cycle. Many mangrove species let their seeds germinate while still attached to the tree. This increases their chances of survival. When ready, they drop off and stick in the mud or float around till they find a suitable anchor. These adaptations help the mangroves to propagate rapidly and expand the forests. Detritus and other protein-rich food from the mangroves sustain millions of crabs, prawns, and young fish. The tangled network of roots is a natural nursery for many species, a secure home for thousands of life forms. Almost 20% of India's population lives within 50 kilometers of these coastlines and depend on the oceans for their livelihood. Mangroves cover almost 4,639 square kilometers of India's coastline. 39 species of mangroves and 89 associate species can be found here. On the eastern coast of India and the western coast of Bangladesh lies the largest mangrove ecosystem in the world, the Sundarbans. A UNESCO World Heritage Site and a Biosphere Reserve. The Sundarban Delta is home to 58 species of mammals, including the tiger.